live. We're back for another episode of Friday Night Pint, and it's just two of us. It's very lonely today, Scott.
I know. You know what I mean? It's
Covering the live one last week.
Yeah, we're still recovering. That's what it is, mate. Still recovering.
See, Scott and Dan, last man standing as usual. As usual. I think it's safe to say, Scott, that we drank more than anyone else on the channel last week on our live show. I think we started early on the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so no Nikki and no Ryan tonight. Ryan's got something going on with his tooth, and I can't remember what Nikki said, to be honest.
I think Nikki's away.
He's away.
I know he was travelling up north the other day, weren't he? So I think he's still away. So he'll be back there for the game.
Yes, yeah, and Graham's running late.
He will be with us ASAP. He's just having to travel somewhere, and as soon as he gets there, he's going to be setting up. So he'll be joining us. So he'll come in like a hero, like he normally does.
Yes, he will. I'm just changing my microphone actually because everyone complains when I use this one. I'll use that one. All right. Anyway, so answer a quick question. A lot of people asking about the video from last week. Last week was brilliant, by the way. We're going to talk probably a bit more about it later after we've got obviously going to be talking about PAI and Tony Cottee's new involvement in it. We're going to be talking about transfers. We're going to talk about the Leicester game, a bit about Newcastle and where we are and things like that. So in terms of the video, anyway, I've been trying to. I'm sorting it out. It's close. There's a bit of technical difficulties. I'll say that it's been a bit of a nightmare trying to sort it out. But I'm close to getting something together that you guys can see and you guys can enjoy, and then hopefully for the next one we do, you guys can actually be there in person. Otherwise, you didn't get to be there last time.
That's it, mate. That's it. Look, anyone that's in the chat that was there the other night, thank you so much for coming and making it it was a fantastic night, you know, to sort of see people there coming to watch what we do, and, you know, to have everyone there, and thanks everyone that bought us a drink as well. Mainly while we were in such a state by the end of the night, Dan, I think. But yeah, no, it was really good, really good, really nice to meet people, see people who, you know, we haven't seen for a while as well. Meet the faces to the names that we get on the show. You know, it was brilliant. I can't wait for the next one. No,
that's it. And we'll get into a little bit more about it later. We're going to tell some stories about it and what went on. And yeah, it was a good time all around.
What we can remember.
Yeah, what we can remember. I think Tom looks like he's back at West Ham. Our old friend Tom Dan, you may remember for the fan cams. I think he's forgot, unless you've changed seats. I think you've forgotten that you're in front of me, mate. So I won't be blocking your view. You'll be blocking mine with with your quiff. Just no San Miguel's, Tom. So yeah. Anyway, let's get into it, shall we, Scott? Let's get into it. The man that I thought was the rumoured legend involved with PAI has now just joined. I thought Tony Cotty was involved with PAI from the beginning. Was hearing about West Ham legends involved. He was the first one off the top of my head. And now he's just joined them. And he's released a statement. Shall we hear the statement and then I'll get your thoughts, Scott. I'll get the statement and you tell me if it changes anything for you in terms of helps influence your feelings towards PAI and things like that. We did. If you was there last week, we sort of had a good chat about the whole PAI thing on the live show. But yeah, he said, so this is the sort of it. I want the best for West Ham fans, and I'm confident PAI will deliver. We've spoken at length. There is a real passion from everyone involved and a confidence we can reach the goals we set out. The first one is getting the fans to believe in this bid. Scott, does that influence you in any way?
Not really, mate. The way PAI have gone about things has been completely wrong for me, as I said before. And getting someone like Cotty on board now just seems to be, again, an appeasement for the fans. You know, if Cotty was involved from the start, you feel was more genuine. You know, and look, TC, he loves the club. He wants what's best for the club. If they've sat him down and told him what their view is, what their philosophy is, and what they want to bring, and then Cotty's he's thinking of the fans. Fantastic. I trust Cotty a lot more than what I trust Rio Ferdinand and Anton Ferdinand. Because as I said, Cotty is a big West Ham fan, and I trust his judgment a lot more. But it's a bit late in the day. Do you know what I mean? It's just the way they're doing their business, the way they're going about when they release the statement, and then they go on, release another statement to the media. If you're that interested in buying the club, just do it. Stop trying to get the fans on side. If you want to do it, do it. You don't you don't see other clubs being sold, like being pursued the way we're being pursued by this PAI capital, and trying to get the fans to turn on the board that's already there. All right, the fans have turned on the board. We're very anti-board, and majority of the fans are. But to try and use the fans to sway someone over. Do you know what I mean?
To be fair, Scott, and I will say this, is they put their first bid in February, right? All of this stuff didn't start happening, all this public stuff, until Sullivan came out and said, they didn't have the money and all of this, that, and the other, and started accusing them of things. Like, they'd obviously already been doing stuff behind closed doors for all of this time. And now, since that happened, and since that sort of came in, then we've seen all of this statements here, talk sport, and all Tom Skinner stuff. Like, it seems to be like ever since that happened, we've seen that reaction. Someone said it. I wanted to put it up actually. Oh, fuck. And this is what I was actually thinking about this earlier. Right, this comment here: Cotty risking his whole legacy with West Ham fans with this association with the consortium. So that actually. Because I was thinking about that earlier, and it made me think, like, okay, so surely Tony knows that he is risking his legacy, because if he endorses it as heavily as possible when it turns out to be an absolute disaster, then that is going to hurt his legacy. Is Graham waiting for us to pop him in, by the way, or does he know he can do it?
I think he's just getting set up.
Okay.
Dan, I've banned someone on the chat.
Yeah, but you put him on timeout, have you?
Yeah, but I've also banned someone that I didn't mean to ban, and I don't know how to get them back.
Oh, Scott. So
if you're trying to type and you find out you're blocked, that's not intentional. That was my fault. I apologise.
I'm joking. Why, Scott? Why? So what I'm saying is, he has to have considered that his legacy is at risk here. So I respect Tony Cotty a hell of a lot. Graham, who's going to come in, he done an interview with him, and in that interview, Tony Cotty said, West Ham is in my DNA. His grandfather founded the supporters club. He went to the games as a boy. Like, he is as West Ham as always. He's a West Ham fan. It's not like Rio or anything like that. He is West Ham's. It's in his DNA, as he said.
Right, so. Dan, I'm gonna add Graham in.
Oh, he does look like he's waiting for us, doesn't he?
Been waiting for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know. He's like a bloody. He wants us to open the door for him, like we're his chauffeurs. You could have let yourself in, great. Got a key?
Yeah. No, I was having a bit of trouble with me, like for whatever reason. Because I'm at my mum and dad's at the minute, so the browser kept blocking my mic and camera, so I had to work around it and open it in another browser. So, but yeah, no, I've been listening. I've been listening to what you've been saying.
Yeah, so as we just mentioned,
one second, Miss Amoret, I think you've just saved my bacon.
Oh wow, Miss Amoret has powers that we don't even seem to have, because I don't know how to unban people. Bloody hell! No, but Gray, obviously you had the pleasure and the privilege of interviewing Tony Cotty, someone you grew up watching and idolising.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, it was he's one of my childhood heroes. It's
so knowing that he's
when I spoke to him.
Yeah, go on, Gray.
You can tell, like he come through the youth system at the club, and he's a goal scoring legend for the club, and as he said, and as you said, the club's in his DNA. He loves the club. You know,
and how does his involvement in PAI? Does that help reassure you at all? Does that help sort of convince you?
I mean, I'll be honest. Like I said last week, you know, the football league is littered with clubs who have been at the top of the game, in the top division, top flight, that have been ruined by consortiums coming in. You know, you got Charlton, Blackburn. I mean, Blackpool were in dire straits for a long time. Birmingham, you know, who have all been sort of recent fixtures in the top flight, and they are now, you know, really struggling financially. So you've really got to be wary of consortiums coming in and taking over. You know, you've got to do due diligence, and it would just be a massive shame if it all went wrong and he was sort of linked with it, you know.
So are you saying that his involvement doesn't help sway you in any way, that this could be a good idea?
I don't know if all the proper checks are done, and you know, and everything is done above board, then yeah. But from what we saw last week, and we were talking about last week on Friday Night Pint, all the statements they've been making, that nothing's actually been said about sort of investing in the team. It's all, well, we'll make the ground better for football, we'll change the badge and all that. But that's what fans want to hear. We want to hear that they're going to invest in the squad, they're going to invest in the training facility, so it's not just porter cabins. You know, so they
did say that. They did say that was a thing that they said, that they was going to invest in the training facilities and all of that. And my thing is, me and Jace put up a video reacting to the TalkSport interview, but the audio was so bad I had to take it off. Everyone was complaining, and we're trying to get the audio sorted in this new studio. But yeah, that was one of the things. I mean, what I was saying is,
yeah, go on.
It's just the thing. No, what I was saying is, the thing is, what he's trying to do, I don't know if you heard the TalkSport interview, Graham, but the whole thing is they're trying to do a self-sustainable model, right? Which is what Gold and Sullivan are trying to do, but they've sort of cocked up, and they're trying to make extra revenue with all of these, like, so make the park make money, make the stadium make money, and then we can invest in the team. The problem for me is, I don't want them to come in and we have to wait for them to make money to spend money. We need immediate investment, and they did mention investing in the training ground, but then obviously we want the team's got to be first and foremost. I just want to touch on, someone said, why did Sky sack him? Sky have been doing like a reshuffle for ages. Obviously they got rid of who's it, the three that they sacked, didn't they? Charlie
Nicholas.
Charlie Nicholas, Southampton legend.
Did they get rid of Letizia?
Letizia and someone else. So they've been just I don't think there's anything to it. They just they've just been having a shake up for a while. But cross hammers, mates. If Sir Trev backed him, that would be good enough for me. It's an interesting one because obviously Sir Trevor, he's obviously at the ground, doesn't he? Goes to the games. He's on the. I don't know if you can count that as an endorsement of Gold, Sullivan, and Brady. He probably doesn't think too much of him, if I could guess.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He couldn't back this new lot, would he? Because of his position with the club now, so he wouldn't be in a position. He'd have to leave his position as an ambassador or whatever he's doing to then back them, I believe.
Yeah, this is
Phil Thompson. That's it.
You feel. You trust Cotty a lot more. Cotty, knows West Ham through and through, as I said before. It's just the timing. That's all it is.
The thing is, he will only have the best interests. Yeah, he'll only have the best interests of the club at heart. But I just wouldn't want him to be associated with it if it all went, because no one knows what would happen. And
thinking about it is that you look at Cotty and, like you said, he's putting his reputation on the line for this. That's the thing. But as I said earlier on, like before you come on, Gray, it's all about timings. And I just feel the way PAI have done everything, they've just gone the wrong way about it. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing for me. It's the way they've gone about everything. It just feels wrong. It doesn't feel right, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. The thing is, time will tell. We don't have any at the end of it, and this was sort of like a freeing thought that I had is we have no control over it. Whether if Sullivan, they're going in for a second bid soon. If Sullivan accepts it, they're getting the club. Nothing we can do about it. If Sullivan rejects it, they ain't getting the club. Nothing we can do about it. Either way, we can just sit here and give our opinions of things. But I think I see you're on it, Scott. I see you was right on it before me. Don't block the wrong person, Scott.
No, now mine's not letting me block it. It keeps saying an error recurred. So you're going
probably because they realise you fucked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Around. So we have no control. So all we can do is, if they do get the club, we hold them just as accountable, as we did Gold and Sullivan, and be just as vocal as we was before, really. But for some reason, they seem to want the fans backing off the bat. That seems to be what all of this is about. That's what Cotty said, didn't he? The first one is getting the fans to believe in the bid. So they do want us to believe in it. They've done a shit job of it so far. But I think Tony Cotty's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you are right in what you're saying there, mate. You are right in saying that. It's just keep quiet. Do you know? I mean, that's what I want. I want them to keep quiet. Just go if they are serious and they're going to back the manager, back the team, improve every aspect of the football club and the way the football club's run, like the Leicester model for me. Leicester's a team that we want to see owners come in and aspire to. That's what we want to see. Fans put at the front of what they're delivering. This is the problem.
Do you think it's too late for them to stay quiet, though, Scott? Because they've done so much damage with how they've mishandled it. Do you not think that now they've got to try and undo all the bad PR that they put out?
That's probably why they've tried to get Cotty in. That's why they've got Cotty involved, to try and sort of rebuild that bridge.
You've got well-respected West Ham legend at the forefront. It's going to add a bit more legitimacy to it, isn't it? Yeah,
I like that Simon Jordan put it on Philip Beard and said, what? Do you know what? It weren't even. Was it Simon Jordan or was it Jim White? One of them said about getting Rio involved, and I was like, they put it on him. Why would you get Rio involved? The fans don't want that, And I think they're aware of our feelings on these things.
Well, is this the same Rio kept telling Declan Rice to go to Man United?
Yeah, and this is the thing, with Rio, and I said this the other day, there was a lot of games last weekend. Man United played and West Ham played. He put out a tweet saying he's home, he's back at Man United and celebrating the win, all of that stuff. Not a single word about West Ham. You would think when you're now you're publicly attached to this company that is trying to buy West Ham, you'd be like, right, at least now let me show, I'm about West Ham. West Ham, we tweet about us and go, come on, you Irons, before the game. At least make the effort. Now we know you're attached to this. You ain't made the effort all these years, but he still doesn't care. So that's the thing with this bloke. I honestly can't stand him, and I think Tony Cotty is the antithesis of Rio Ferdinand. He is, he bleeds claret and blue, and he loves the club, and
Exactly, and that's it, and that's what you want. As I said, it doesn't sell it for me still. As I said at the start, I think they've gone the wrong way about everything they're trying to do.
I'm trying to sing you.
They've got the right intentions, then we're for it. But if they've not, we've been sold down the river once. We don't want to be sold down the river again.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? West Ham fans, we're so mistrustful because of what happened, and we've been burned badly. And I think it's going to take a lot to win West Ham fans' trust. And I think, look, the least they can do is run this club competently. That's the very least. So it's not even like they have to pump 100 million a season off the bat.
We've always had sort of shoddy, haven't we, really? So you could be used to it by now.
Del boys. Yeah, it'd be nice to have someone who's at least professional, at least is gonna run the club the right way. And we don't know. At the end of the day, we won't know until they've got it. If they get it, and that's the thing. Are there any other legends? I'm trying to think of other legends that they could get involved that would breed more confidence. Obviously, Nick talked about Trevor Brooking. I saw a mention for Billy Bonds. I can't see Bonds getting involved in anything like that at this stage. Do you? Can you see Billy Bonds? I can't.
No, the thing is, Billy Bonds is he's a very private man, Billy Bonds, isn't he? So I couldn't see him getting involved.
No, but yeah, so it's just, to me, it's looking at, West Ham legends that have, always kept the club in mind and things like that. Maybe a Di Canio. I
think it's that, you see there, Crosshammers has said, best bet, old players keep me stum. And, that's probably the way forward. As I said, you've tried the public approach. You've seen and heard the fans' feelings. Do the business behind closed doors. Keep stum.
Alvin Martin. Yeah, it's just, I think I think the idea of these explains is to try and have someone that we have a little bit of trust and faith in, to say, we've looked at it, we've seen things that you ain't seen, and trust me, like, these are the right guys. Because obviously we're not going to be privy to all of the stuff, are we? Like that.
Exactly. We don't know their intentions, so we're on here. We're saying our assumptions to what we feel we've read into the statements and stuff like that. They could have the best intention at heart, but all I'm saying anyway, I don't know. I'm not speaking for you guys. Is that I just feel they're going about it the wrong way. That's it.
Yeah. Should we get some comments in?
Man. I'll
get the comments up. Right, you guys give your thoughts on them. A couple of comments now I've seen. Worst owners is Icelandic group, and someone said again back. I think they're the Icelandics. I think people have a harsh view on them. I think that they had the right intentions. I think they're potentially very good owners, and it was just a complete misfortune of the bank crash thing that send them to bankrupt. That they had the right intentions, but they didn't do it on purpose, did they? Go out of business and all of that and go bankrupt.
I think the only thing they can really be sort of pulled up on is they were the ones that brought in Kieran Dyer.
Yeah,
it's mate, and was it Freddie Lundberg as well. So mate, they spent the money, they played the players,
but on the wrong
paper. Kieran Dyer, Freddie Lundberg.
But the thing is, mate, they were spending big money and giving big wages to players whose best years were behind them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
But the thing is, West Ham have done that for years before the Icelandics. That's been one of the things that we've always done, because they're the players that we could convince to come that had some sort of quality and some sort of name. But I do think that they had the right intentions by the club, and that's why I wouldn't. And like I said, Matt says they almost bankrupt us, but like I said, they didn't do it on purpose, and it's not like they did it through any incompetence or anything. It was literally something out of their control. So I wouldn't put them as the worst owners, because it was, it's completely unfortunate. Like, whereas Gold and Sullivan, the Browns and the Kearns, they all had ill intentions. They've all had ill intentions, and we've suffered for their ill intentions. So that's why I would put them as worse. To be honest with you, but it's an interesting talk if you're thinking back on them. It's one of those with them. We've got will we sign a striker before the window starts? Yeah, we're going to be talking about transfers very soon. We'll take a few more comments. Fuck Rio and Anton. I love Anton. Anton's always been West Ham. We had a great season. Let's move on with what we had. We don't need Tim Pot bunch of wankers interfering. I agree with the sentiments Rio, but I think Anton, when he played against Millwall and he was giving it for Southend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I like Anton a lot. But yeah, would you like a Red Bull bid again? I'd be more excited about a Red Bull bid.
I don't know. No, I don't think I would, because when you look at what they've done at Salzburg and Leipzig, yes, they've had success on the pitch, but basically I think Salzburg fans founded their own club off the back of it, because they were just taking away the identity of the club.
I watched
a documentary about Salzburg.
Yeah,
and they said, like, Salzburg had always played in I think it was like a lilac kit or something like that. and they come in, just changed everything. Went, right, you're wearing Red Bull colours now, but you can wear lilac socks as a little nod to, and they just basically took the identity of the club away. So, and a lot of the fans, like with FC Manchester, and a lot of the Salzburg fans went and formed their own.
We touched on this last week on the live show, didn't we, Gray? We touched a bit on it. We talked about it, but like I said, I think the Premier League has a lot more. I don't think they'd get away with what they did to Salzburg with West Ham, and I think they would be smart enough to realise that they couldn't get away with it, and all the changing the name and stuff like that, and they wouldn't be allowed to. And I think they'd know. Look what happened when the Cardiff owners, they tried to change them from blue to red. They, after the backlash, they soon changed it back. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you had Hull, didn't you? When the guy took over Hull, he tried to change them to
Hull City Tigers.
Yeah, and it didn't go ahead. And that's the thing, when you look at what Red Bull have done, I know what you're saying, Gray, with that, they've took the identity away. For me personally, I didn't know Leipzig or Salzburg before Red Bull took them over. So, but yes, you'd like them to come in with the model of the way they've got, the Leipzig have got, with the way the football, looking at the young and stuff like that. But you don't touch the identity of the club. You don't change the name. You don't change the colours of the side. These colours, right? Look, we all know Thames Ironworks. We started off in blue. We all know the story about winning the bet against Villa and taking the claret and blue kit. But that's our kit. And as I said, you don't mess about with a club's identity like that.
Yeah, and I think they'd know is that we've got, look at it from a corporate perspective, it's a brand. And to go in and change a recognised brand, it's silly. And I think there's an interesting point from we got a problem. Says identity is already gone though. I'd at least rather watch some good football. Yeah, we did sign to sell our soul, and we've got nothing in return, have we?
But this is the thing. The thing is, you look at the uproar we had when we put London on the badge, or when they put London on the badge. Sorry, and that's the thing. It's that caused a lot of problems. Trying to change the name of West Ham United is just ridiculous because, as you said, we are a brand. Yeah, we are a brand. I've been a lot of countries abroad. Everyone knows who West Ham are. Do you know what I mean? It's not we are a club as much as other teams that turn around and try and tell you we're not. We are a club that's known worldwide.
Yeah, I don't care. We're a big club.
Yeah, someone like Red Bull wouldn't need to come in and turn us into Red Bull United, West Ham Red Bull. Do you know what I mean? Because the monopoly's already there. The branding going on the West Ham kit, the branding being around the London Stadium.
Exactly. You're there in the most watched league in the world. Your name is attached to.
Yeah.
So
you wouldn't need that. When no disrespect to the German league, it's not as big as the Premier League. Red Bull own a side in America as well. New York,
isn't it?
Be called Red Bull, whatever it is, because nobody knows who that side is. And as I said, I never knew Leipzig and Salzburg before they were taken over by Red Bull. So it goes to show that that's what they need. Clubs like that need it. West Ham don't need that.
Yeah.
And that's why probably a Red Bull takeover would probably sit a bit better.
Yeah. This is I think Rackets 14's got a good point. What PAI have shown with getting a stadium deal done in principle, that principle is on them owning the club, is that GSB could but won't. And I think this is very interesting. I don't think that I think it comes down to money, because obviously if we get Gold and Sullivan are happy to pay our little couple million a year in rent and not have to pay for any operation costs or anything like that. They're just happy to try and do things and have the club as cheap as possible and to maximize it. Obviously, what these guys want to do is they see potential in the whole Olympic Park where money can be made. So they see it as a worthwhile investment to say, yeah, let's have the whole stadium. Yep, we'll take the operation costs on. We'll take, all this other costs, and we'll make some money through that. Whereas I think Gold and Sullivan are just, again, on the cheap. And then regardless of how it affects the fan experience, Gold and Sullivan don't care. They just want to do everything on the cheap. And that's what someone said. Why is Sullivan saying we're so skint? Because he's cheap and he don't want to spend money. So he wants us to believe we're skint.
Yeah, one of the things you said last week, Dan. If we can consistently be a top sort of top 6 side, top 7, 8, constantly pushing for Europe. That's going to add more value to the club.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But they're trying to do it. They're trying to. Do you know what I mean? Do it on the cheap.
But the crazy thing is as well is having a small squad and low wage bill also increases the value of the club, which is why we're running on a skeleton squad, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Gold and Sullivan are not going to fork out money to buy that stadium because they're playing the waiting game, they're playing the long game, and this is what I've said all from the start when we moved into the London Stadium. They are waiting for the government to turn around and say, we need this stadium off our books. It's costing us too much money to run a year. We need to get it off the books, offer it to West Ham a cut price of like 50 million.
Yeah, and this is a good point, as you say, because someone said that you can't buy the stadium; it's public building. Of course you can. Look at the O2 when it was a Millennium Dome. Millennium Dome was a public building, wasn't it? And got sold to loads. I mean, look, we had the bloody rail and was privatized, and the post offices and all that. It's not like you can't sell publicly owned assets.
The Dartford Crossing was a publicly owned bridge and tunnels. They sold it to the French, and then went and bought it back. You can. There's stuff there to do it, and that's what it is. Gold and Sullivan is the waiting game. It's just a waiting game with him.
Yep, absolutely. So Ray asked a very important question. How can we be skinned where we get that extra TV money being in Europe and finishing in 6th in league and Sky and TV deals? We made around 140 million. Yeah, this is a very interesting point, right? Because when I was listening to the Philip Beard's Simon Jordan interview thing, Simon Jordan talked about how many burgers weren't being sold because of the pandemic and all those other costs that we're missing out on. And now we should be one of the least hit clubs from the pandemic out of anyone because we don't have any stadium costs. We don't pay the electricity, the gas. We don't make money on food, all of that stuff, right? So when it comes to what we've lost out of every club in the league, it's the least, but we seem to be spending the least. It's madness. So we haven't, but we're making an excuse.
Yeah, and this is what I said to you the other week when the clubs knew there was a thing of not having fans in the stadium. They budgeted for that. As I said, Arsenal budgeted that they wasn't going to have fans in the stadium. So they looked at other ways that they'd have the income, they'd have the money to go out and do what they needed to do in the business they needed to get done. And like you said, Dan, we ain't lost catering costs. We ain't lost staff. They paid the staff. But let's be honest, within that stadium, West Ham's outlay on staff is very, very minimal.
Yeah, exactly. I think even the sellers of the programs of the stadiums start paying by the stadium.
So no stewarding, no policing, no catering costs so that income is the LBDC that they've lost. That expenditure, the LBDC, not ours.
Beer, everything like that, like all of those costs. They can still sell merchandise online. It's literally just tickets. So when you compare us to other clubs, that's it. So things like that. So when you compare us to other clubs, we surely have been hit the least out of any other club in the league because we don't own our stadium, because we don't pay all of these costs and bills and all of these things. So,
you guarantee, right? You guarantee that during the lockdown when there was no football, Gold and Sullivan were on the phone to the LDDC about deferring the rent as well.
Exactly. You could. Well, that wouldn't surprise me at all. JC with a £4.49 super chat. Cheers, JC, mate. Hope you're having a good night. GSB will get the ground for £1, then sell the club and rent the ground back to us. Can you imagine?
Do you know what? That would be the most Sullivan thing to do.
Yeah.
It really would. Really, really would.
That's it.
No one would be shocked. No one would be shocked if it happened. That's the thing.
That's it. And that just sums up the state that we're in behind the scenes. That if that happened, we'd all sit there and go, "Yeah, I saw that coming," you know.
Yeah.
But
that's it. No, but so Roddy says burgers. If they sell 10k burgers a week, you're taking 50k after the cost. Pointless money to discuss for Prem clubs. Now, the reason why we're discussing it is because what we're saying is like they can't use the pandemic as an excuse over other clubs because we've been hit the least because we don't pay. Or like you add it up, so you add just burgers to basically you add food, beer, staffing, policing, bills, electricity, all of that stuff. You add that all up, that's not a cost that we have incurred. We haven't had to worry about those costs and losing out on them, whereas other clubs who have been spending.
I think there was one. I can't. Was it Dover or someone like that? I remember when they sort of started up the football again, but they weren't allowing fans in. I'm sure it was Dover. They forfeited all their games. They said because they would lose money because they make all their money with fans turning up, drinking beer, having burgers. And all that. That's how they make the bulk of their mony on a match day.
Yeah, because the markup on food and drinking football stadiums is ridiculous, and they do money out of it.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'll talk about transfers in a sec, but I think Ken Ambers makes a good point. Talk about this guy on a lighter note. What result? Newcastle, great atmosphere, top day. Scott, you went down there. What was it like, mate?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you something.
Went up there, Dan.
You were up there, sorry, not down there.
You went up there, not down there.
Yeah, do you know what? First trip out to St James's, and never going to forget it. What a great day! Great day. It was good. Had a good laugh travelling up there. Went up with Nicky, Charlie, Andy, and Mike. Had a good laugh in the car on the way up. Great day, great result, great atmosphere, as per normal.
You could hear it like so loud from like the start.
Do you know what?
So Kent and Matt just did confirm it was Dover. Kent and Matt just.
I've been to the Emirates, right, and I thought that place was quiet. St James's Park is quieter than the Emirates.
Do you know what it was like that when I was there?
I heard their fans even mutter a word was when they scored. That was it. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And as per usual, we outsung everything they did. So it was good, great day.
It says a lot considering we get stuck up in the gods, right? It makes it even harder. And I don't know what it is because, like I said, you went there, you experienced that. When I've been at Newcastle, I've been experiencing that. I don't know whether it's Ashley, I don't know if it's apathy with the Newcastle fans or it's just how that is. That stadium should be able to get rocking. I don't know what it was like when.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I went up there a few years ago, we lost 3-0. And like Scott said, the only time you heard them was when they scored.
Gee, yeah, I tell you what,
at 3-1, it wasn't.
Yeah,
do you know what, they're a nice bunch up there, though.
Yeah,
I've got family up there. I love it. Like I say, Newcastle's a great city to spend a weekend in.
I'll find that out sometime soon, Greg.
Hey, I got to point out, I never said I'm accepting pie. I'm just saying that we haven't got any control over it regardless, but Tony is a step in the right direction. That's all I'm saying on that. But yeah, great result. Like to listen to people who watched the watch along knew it was a roller coaster of emotions. But to see when the third goal went in, I was over the moon. But when the fourth goal went in, that really took it over the edge for me because that's like, even at 4-2 up, right, I'm still shitting myself. That's the thing with West Ham, isn't it? You never feel comfortable. How many times did we nearly
blow 3-goal leads last year?
Yeah, like it was like 3 games in a row, like didn't we? We had the Arsenal game, the Leicester game, and the Wolves game. We'd go 3-0 up, and it'd all go to shit. But great. It's brilliant. Great start season. Callum Wilson got his obligatory goal against us. Was it a penalty though? It's so weird at the time, and I still haven't seen a different angle. I was like, when I was watching on the stream, I said stone wall. At the time,
I don't looking at it with my defender's eyes on. If I'd had that given against me, I'd have been well pissed off because he did get the ball first.
But when you look at it, the only player that didn't protest it was the player that made the tackle. And you know yourself, Gray, as a defender. You know when you get the ball and when you don't.
I think he maybe got the man first. Do you think? I think he maybe clipped his toes, and then I think there was
4-nails went down, but then he got up and tried to get the shot away. So
what a hit by Criswell!
He didn't.
Right
yeah.
But I think he had these
when it come back out. Yeah.
I'll be honest. I was too busy screaming at Antonio for missing that header.
Oh, mate, that was ridiculous. It was. I'd have to really see that a few times in slow mo. But when I first looked at it, because it looks like he just clips his legs. He clips his legs, but he maybe hit his legs first, and then the rear leg was, that followed through afterwards. So it's it's an interesting one.
When I watched it, it did look like he got the ball first. I'm not complaining though, but if I was defending again. And if I was a defender and I had that given against me, I wouldn't have been best pleased.
And that's it. And Ben Rama, a lot of people say Ben Rama's on fire. He didn't get man of the match. I thought he should have done. He was my man of the match. I thought he was brilliant, and for him to get goal and assist, and I'm very excited.
It was one of them games where, that first half wasn't great. A lot of players were below par. Second half, you couldn't fault any player.
No,
I don't think in that second half a player put a foot wrong.
I think this is an interesting question because I've lost it. I hate when that happens. But
language day, it's not 9 o'clock yet.
Is it not? Right, we're below the watershed. Well, listen, it's a lot more tame compared to when Nicky's here. We'll say that. But no, right?
We'll get Cody to tell you off.
Yeah, he's not in earshot, is he, Scott?
No, he ain't, not tonight. Don't worry.
But yeah,
Scott yesterday swore he got told off.
And there's a question there. Why didn't Rice say it? So look, I want to talk about penalties, right? We need to sort out our penalty takers. The reason why Antonio took it, I think, is in his interview, is he asked Rice if he could take it. Obviously, he wants to beat that record. I think he asked Rice. I don't want Rice taking penalties. I don't want Antonio taking penalties. If Lingard comes back, I don't want him taking. People know as soon as during the watch along, when he was saying penalties, you see me go, shit, Antonio's taking it, because I knew people. If Mark Noble isn't on the pitch, I want either Jared Bowen or I want Ben Rama taking it. One of them two. They've taken penalties for clubs before. They should be taking penalties. Rice is the captain, yes, but I don't think just because you're captain, you should be the penalty taker. It just happens that Noble has been the captain and a brilliant penalty taker. But I don't know why so many of our players are so crap at taking penalties. We've not had to train anyone because Mark Noble's just been so good at them.
And that's it. We haven't had to worry about that, have we? Because Noble's been so consistent with his penalty taking. It's one of the things. For me, it's Ben Rama. I see Andy said there, and someone else said it as well, that Criswell,
you'd have Criswell, wouldn't you, over Antonio?
Yeah, and the thing is, someone put it in the chat there that I think Ben Rama and Dawson have both got 100% records, but granted, Dawson's only took 2 penalties, so but
how many penalties has Antonio taken?
Well, it's 2 scored by miss one. But I was with you. I had a bet going, and this is why I was screaming at Antonio for missing that header. And then he stepped up to take the penalty. And unfortunately, like you, Dan, I weren't that confident he was going to score.
Yeah,
it wasn't the greatest penalty, was it? Not the greatest.
No. Listen, his penalty miss is overall because that finish by him for his goal.
Was absolutely.
I'm on about Antonio's finish. That was a striker's finish.
Yeah.
And from Antonio, you know what I mean?
I think even if the keeper got an hand on that, he won't keep that out. He absolutely smashed it.
And that's the thing. I think now with Antonio, I think he's one of them strikers. When he has to react, he puts the ball in the back of the net. If he overthinks it, that's when he misses the chance. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. As much as I'm screaming for that header, that was an hard header.
It was when you look at it.
Yeah, he was coming back.
Fine margins.
Fine
margins. He's hit the post, and we do that a lot. But with the Souček follow-up, that's the second time in how many months we've had to have someone do the follow. The last time was Rice missed the penalty and Lingard followed it in, didn't he?
Or did Lingard miss it and follow his own one up?
It might have been that. It might have been that. There was definitely a. But yeah, like that's the thing. The penalties has just been. They've not been good. So either look, Moyes, get one of these other lads on it. Try to see who else is good in penalties, or just try and get Noble on.
So two best penalty takers I've ever seen: Ray Stewart and Matt Letizia. No messing about.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't
and
say
Julian Dix as well. And Julian Dix as well. To get your laces through it.
That's what I mean. And obviously Noble's been brilliant, like so confident and so cool. He should be our penalty trainer, really.
Yeah. You know what? And Joe else rounded that off. Right. So it was a great day, great win. And then did anyone watch the under-23s the other night?
Yeah.
Oh, against Arsenal.
I see the highlights. Yeah. I tell you what, I think that Oko Flex, right, could be a good prospect. One of them surprise packages, you know?
Yeah, that's it. Look, listen, we Odebeku, I think the under-23s are playing again tonight. I think Odebeku scored again. You know, he's still knocking on the door as well. So, you know, there's some good youngsters there. And for me as well, seeing in the under-23s, Yarmolenko, Masuaku, Lanzini, all getting game time. You know, this is something that I've said before, that I feel without reserve team football, you have players who are on the bench and constantly on the bench, and when they come on, they're not like up to match sharpness or anything like that. You know, Yarmolenko played, I think, 80 minutes. Lanzini played 70 odd. I think Masuaku done a full 90. And I feel that our players should be playing the under-23s level, you know, playing as a reserves to get their bodies ticking over, to get so that when they come into a game, they're not that far off of a match peakness, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's great for the fit. I think Masuaku, I think they're playing tonight. I think he's playing with them. Or Saturday. If it's tonight, I think
it's tonight. They won't. Under-23s winning 1-0.
Bowling Boys has a question actually on a topic, slightly different topic. Thoughts on Antonio and Jamaica plus UL? Yeah, so Antonio is going to be playing some international games for Jamaica in January. I think it is in January, which is probably around the time we lose some players to the African Cup of Nations. So regardless, if he stays fit all season, we're guaranteed to lose him for a period of time early next year, which, you know, is very worrying considering our lack of movement in the transfer window.
No, Jamaica have only got World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, but they've said that he's got 8 games for them.
Yeah,
don't forget friendlies and stuff like that.
That's between now and 2022, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they've said it's something like that. But it'll miss. Basically,
isn't the Africa Cup of Nations been moved to the summer?
It did, but I think it's back. No, I think it was, and I think because of, I can't remember if it was because of the World Cup or something. There was a reason why it's January. It's like teams will be affected. But
the thing is, look, if Antonio wants to play international football, none of us can
stand in his way.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. You can't.
The thing is, it's playing international football. That's the pinnacle.
It's the biggest honour probably you can get.
Yeah, representing the country should be the biggest honour.
And if he can get in the World Cup, you know, that's huge. That's huge. Yeah. At least to be a part of that, you know.
I'll be honest. If it wasn't for his injury record, it wouldn't worry me. Yeah, I get worried when all our players go and play for international level, like for the internationals. Declan Rice playing for England, it worries me all the time. But when you've got a player that has a lot of injury problems throughout his career, and you know, in playing 3 games in the space of 9 days or 8 days, whatever it is, it's a big worry for me. That's the concern for me, is how.
But do you know what,
they
Scott?
manage the player.
Because I see some people they're having a pop at Antonio signing a new contract, getting a pay rise, and then going and you know, playing in national football. We shouldn't be begrudging Antonio. The problem isn't with Antonio. The problem is with the club causing us to rely on Antonio and have him and not have the backup in place. Right? We should have that. We shouldn't be so scared that Antonio's going to play for Jamaica and get injured and we're going to have no striker. We shouldn't be putting that on Antonio. That's not his problem. That's not his fault. The fault is at the club for not having the cover. In fact, we shouldn't be relying on Antonio to be our our main man at all at this stage. He shouldn't be. He's brilliant, but with the injuries, you can't rely on him to be.
That's it, and that's the thing. You know, we could sign 2 strikers, and you know, if they're internationals, they could go get an injury, pick up an injury. You know, we know that's just the nature of the beast that football is. You lose players to injuries now and again. Like you said, that is the big problem, is that we are solely reliant on this one guy to play as our main striker. You know, we've seen Yarmolenko play out. Yarmolenko does a job. Don't get me wrong, he does a job, but he's aging. He's not young anymore.
Yeah, he hasn't got the fitness.
When you watch him playing for his nation, they set up around him because he's their main man.
Yeah, we play completely different in a different way. I think that doesn't suit Yarmolenko at all.
And you saw that with Odebeku when he came on against United, it wasn't really suited the way we were playing. The way we were playing at that time wasn't suited to him. And this is the problem we got, is that when your main focal point is Antonio, and like you said, with his injury problems and stuff like that, we lose him. The whole dynamic falls apart, because then you're going, right, well, we've got to play Bowen up top. But then we rely so much on Antonio's strength to hold up the ball. You know, Bowen's got the pace to get in behind and pace to run down the line and get it into the corners like Antonio does. But Antonio's got body mass that Bowen hasn't got. Bowen's not got Hernandez's intelligence to draw the foul. You know, he's not that type of player.
The way Antonio plays, you can't ask him to sort of play conservatively either. Like, so, you know, save you, because then you take away what makes him a handful.
This is why, right? So Bonnie Hammer says, name a striker that will sit on the bench for Antonio. Now, this might be controversial, but what I wanted to see us go out is to get a top striker and have Antonio on the bench and come off of the bench, right? You bring Antonio maybe 65th, 70th minute. Imagine Antonio coming on late when defenders are getting tired, and he's coming on like with a burst of energy and knows, look, I'm on this pitch for 30 minutes. I'm going to give it everything. I'm going all out. I ain't got to conserve energy.
But then he's just broken into international football. He's not going to want to sit on the bench and come on half hour every week, is he?
Let's be real.
Run the risk of him going, do you know what? It's a transfer request.
Let's be real, Gray, right? Antonio could sit on our bench every week and still get in that Jamaica side. And that's no disrespect to the Jamaica side. But Antonio gets in there regardless, right? He could just play in the cups and still get in that side. So he would never have to worry about that.
He won't want to sit on the bench. He'll want to play every game.
Well, no one does. No one does, do they? Let's be real. No one wants to sit on the bench.
But you're saying, like, just stick him on the bench every week and he gets 25 minutes, half hour.
No, I mean, look, there'll be games where he gets full. No, look, we're in Europe. We're in Europe. We're going to have to rotate. But I think having that option to rotate is beneficial, and he knows his injury problems, right? He knows that he gets injured a lot, and we've got to manage that, and he can't play 90 every week and expect to stay fit for the whole season. And I think that's a very good option to have, is Antonio coming on as like a super sub. And Hammerhead says it right here as well. Antonio can play along another striker. Him and look, I know we had, thankfully Nicky's on today. Because what I'm about to say is him and Allaire, when they did the few times they got to play together, looked good together.
Well, this is the thing, is that you've got Antonio's got that versatility. He can play alongside another striker, and the fact that we play that attacking free, he can play wide. Yeah, we've got to look back at when he first started banging in goals back at Upton Park when he was playing. He was coming in from the right, attacking the ball late. Yeah, I think he scored a few goals on the spin coming in from that right-hand side. So you've got the options, but having another striker there, you still look. Antonio starts at the moment the way he started this season, the way he was against Newcastle. He starts over anyone you bring in at the moment. You know, and unless you're bringing in somebody who is world class. Like my point when I said about with the goalkeepers, for me, you know, you change them out. Unless you're bringing in someone who's world class and who's a lot better striker than Antonio, then Antonio starts.
I think that's why someone like Armstrong would have been good, because he doesn't say if you got an Ings, right? A Danny Ings wants to come in and he's going to want to start straight away. But if you sign someone like an Armstrong from the Championship, he's not coming in with any of that ego or any of that sort of thing. He's coming in knowing that he's taking a step up and he's going to want to. He's going to be patient.
But when you look at that, if you bring another striker in, if we were to bring Ings in, if we could have brought Ings in, you could have played with him and Antonio. And then you have that option where you can switch around the Ben Rahmans, the Bowens, the Antonios to suit different systems to play against different sides.
Someone said, "What about Jovic?" It would be so hilarious. We get rid of Allaire and bring his strike partner in, because we have been linked with him. Someone said about Origi as well. Been linked with Origi and Andy. I think it was Andy. He said it right. He has scored some important goals, last minute winners and stuff like that. But when you look at his goals to games ratio, it's far from impressive, right? So let me get that out, right? And this is the thing.
The thing is, when you look at Antonio's goals to games ratio, it ain't great. Granted, he hasn't played all that as a striker, right?
Like he said, he has played
Origi, is look at his goals to games ratio playing in the daylight to playing at night.
So look at it this way. This is what I've got right on Wiki. So 2020, 21, 17 appearances, 1 goal. Season before that, 42 appearances, 6 goals. Before that, 21 appearances, 7 goals. Before that, 1 appearance, 0 goals. And then 43 appearances, 11 goals. 33, 10 goals. So the last 6 years, it's not, doesn't fill you with confidence.
I think what you're looking at with someone like Origi is what else he brings. Again, he's a physically strong player. You've got to look at the way we set up, the way we play. We either play when Antonio's injured, we end up trying to play with a false 9. But when Antonio's there, it's the bulk, it's the strength, it's the pace. And that's what Moyes has his way of playing, and you're looking at that. Like Moyes said, he's not going to go and sign just anyone willy-nilly. They're looking for players to play the way Antonio plays, the way we saw Arnautovic play when Arnautovic did the job.
But do you know what the thing is, Scott? We need a plan B. We need another way of playing when that doesn't work.
I totally agree. We need, if his way's not working, we need to be able to switch to a 2 up top or something like that. We do need a plan B. But the problem is that...
I think when we had Hernandez, I think we misused him. I think he needed someone up there alongside him, because we were trying to play him as a lone striker, but he's not that type of player. He needed the big strong.
As much as Nicky hates him, exactly the same with Allaire, mate. Exactly the same. We've done it with Hernandez and we've done it with Allaire. We signed a striker that I remember years before we signed Hernandez, when we started doing this, we said, we need a fox in a box, we need someone in this box, and we go and sign a poacher and then play one up front.
And then play him as a lone.
Yeah. Oh, mate. I remember, I never forget when we was pumping up long balls to him, and I was just
and this is what I mean. And he gets slated for it. Hernandez is, shit, he shouldn't be playing and all that. But if you don't play to... Your main focal point of your attack is your striker. He's the guy you're investing to put that ball in the back of the net. So if your striker's 5'8", you don't play long balls to him.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It makes no sense. You get high up the pitch, you put crosses in, low hard crosses into the box where a poacher's going to earn his money. And that Hernandez, that was his career. His whole career, never scored a goal outside the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
So we would have probably signed Solskjaer and tried to play him like that. He's blind.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same when we had Carroll, right? We play long ball to Carroll, put no one around him for him to flick it onto a.
Yeah. Oh, Scott's
we're just expecting him to make something out of nothing on his own.
Scott's froze up there. He's back. Nino 1983 with a £5 super chat. Thank you very much, Nino.
Thank you, Nino.
Having a good evening. Arsenal selling Lacazette, but wants to stay in the Premier League. Surely worth a punt. 12 months left on his deal. Won't cost the earth. The problem is, Nino, for me, it's going to be his wages, isn't it? Like, he must be on big wages, because they have a real problem with that at Arsenal, is putting players on massive wages.
This is the thing. It's how much the player wants to play football.
Do you know what the funny thing is? He turned us down when we tried to sign him because he wanted to play in the Champions League and has not played a single second of Champions League football since that day. And in fact, he's probably more likely to play it with us if he joins West Ham at this stage.
And that's the thing is, and again, this is what we've got to be playing on. We've got to be looking at that. We can offer Lacazette European football.
It's just if we can. If we
and
want
again,
to pay
he's another player who can play. He's another player who can play anywhere across that front three.
Yeah,
you never know. Oh, can you? And if we got Lingard as well, you don't know how. Those two could link up
and
quite
that
well.
is the thing. He's got work rate to him, Lacazette. He has got the work rate, and he's willing to run and put in a shift. So I think he would suit us very well. It's about so if he's got 12 months left on his deal, they've got to consider that. But it's all about his wage. And this is the thing with teams like Arsenal and a lot of teams is they're signing these players on big contracts with high wages, and then they want to try and recoup the big money they paid for them, and realizing shit, they're on high wages and we want a lot of money for them, and they're having trouble selling them. So these teams like Arsenal and Man United, if they want to move these players on, they're going to have to take a hit on the fee. It's like Lingard, Man United trying to hold out for 30 odd million. They're going to have, if they want to sell him, they're probably going to have to take a hit on it. Otherwise, they're going to have a player there that you're going to lose for free, and he's just going to be sitting on your bench taking up a wage. Like they've got to just face it. It's the way to go. But yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Lacazette.
I'll take Lacazette. He's a quality striker, and he's another one that won't score against us.
165.
The thing is, I would have taken Abraham.
I think Moyes would have taken Abraham.
I'm only thinking I was the only one that wouldn't take Abraham.
Yeah, it's Do you know, he does miss a lot of big chances, but if Moyes wanted him, but that's the thing. We've been passed by on a lot of players. We've missed out on a lot of players, and now we're hearing Milenkovic. I think it's Milenkovic, wasn't it? Under 23s are losing 2-1. Happy Friday. But so there is news on, I think, Lingard actually. I think it is coming close. I think he's told Man United. There's this guy people was telling me about on the watch along called something Daya or something like that. Anyway, he's got a channel, and he had that.
Steve's with me. Well on, Steve.
He has a channel. He's an ex-agent. He had that, young Jake. Nicky interviewed him after the game. He's got his own channel. He had him on 3-1 Brighton. Daya Banter. That's it. Daya Banter. I didn't know anything about it. All the subscribers started telling me about it during the watch along. He did a live stream and someone DM'd me this. I think it was actually John. John's in the chat now. He actually sent it to me, and he spoke to Lingard, because apparently his daughter is friends with him and his son and all of that stuff. And what Lingard said was all of that stuff about him not wanting to come to West Ham and him wanting to go abroad was all rubbish. He wants to come to West Ham. He's told Man United he wants to come to West Ham, and he's just waiting for Man United and West Ham to come to an agreement. So all West Ham have to do, I think, is pay the money, and all Man United have to do is accept the payment.
I think that'd be a deadline day signing, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, they. I think what it is. Sorry, Greg, go on, mate.
No, I'm saying, like when Dan said earlier about possibly 25-30 mil, I still think that would be a very good price for a player of that quality.
I think what GSB are doing is they're holding out to do it cheap.
Yeah. The problem is what you don't want is someone else to come along and go, there you go, there's the money you want. Yeah. We'll have him. Thank you very much.
That's the big issue we've got, and the problem is that Lingard seems to enjoy himself playing for us. If he wants out of United, there is other London clubs there that have got the ability to sign him.
Yeah,
and this is again, we're playing that dangerous game where we're holding out, probably trying to do it on a bit of the cheap, when we should just go there, pay the money, get the deal done, get it over the line, and we've got the player. Look, when he come out, when them stories come out and said that he didn't want to play for us, and you knew that was crap. You saw the way he enjoyed the time he was with us. Yeah. You saw the videos, you saw him laughing and joking. You know, he enjoyed the time there. You could tell. You know, you look at the banter he was having with Dex and things like that. No, that's just rubbish spouted in the media and things like that. You get it. Listen, if you come out and said, I don't want to come to West Ham because of the owners, yeah, fair point. You know,
you'd understand that, yeah.
You know, it's look, get the deal done. Do you know what I mean? Just get it over the line.
Yeah. Hey, Jan, you know, like you said earlier, waiting for the price to come down. It feels like that's what we've been doing the whole summer with everyone. We look at all these targets and we're like, well, if we just wait a bit, you know, they'll eventually want to sell so bad and they'll drop their price, and other teams come in and they just snap them up, and that's what they do.
It's annoyed me, Dan. Like some, you know, clubs have give the prices they want for the player, and we're coming in with, you know, bids that are just over half of what they want, or you know, 5 or 6 mil short, or you know, all right, you want to knock a bit off, but don't take the piss. Otherwise, clubs ain't going to want to do business with you.
Yeah, but this is the thing we've seen in the past is that certain clubs don't want to do business with us. You know, Leicester don't want to do business with us, and you know, this is the thing. This is a thing where our board have got a history of putting their foot in their mouths and not thinking before they speak. And you know, that's what it is. Look, we don't know what goes on within the transfers and stuff like that. We ain't no experts. We ain't trying to say we're experts, but in my opinion, if you go and buy a car and the car's there for a price that you're willing to pay for it, you buy the car. You don't hold on and wait for the dealer to go. You know, you have a bit of back and forth negotiation, knock the down price down a bit, granted, but you don't go in there and for a 20 grand car and say, I'll give you 10.
And this is the problem as well. Like Robert's right. He says, look, if he goes to Everton, I'll be screwed. He has been linked with Everton, and Everton don't have any problems about going in and saying, you want 25 mil? There's your 25 mil. Thank you very much. We'll take Lingard. So as much as he might prefer a move to West Ham, at the end of the day, if he thinks like, well, if I wait, West Ham might not come in for me and I'll be stuck here and not playing football. So I'll accept. Very, very, very worrying on Everton. Someone said, have you guys seen the James Rodriguez situation? All I know is that apparently he's not wanting to play for him anymore.
Apparently, he only signed to play for
Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah,
but apparently he's been sort of protest. He's not been turning up, and messy situation for them. And we've been there.
This is the problem with modern day football. Too much power is with the players.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Scott. Don't you think like that's why sometimes it's a bit dangerous? Like, okay, they got the money in for Ancelotti. They then started going and splashing and signing these big players that might not have played for Everton or otherwise. So then what happens is they already think that they're too good to play for Everton, and they're not going to have that loyalty and things like that. And I think that's sometimes the problem. I think with Rodriguez, they were shocked that they got him. They attracted him for the manager, and once the manager was gone, he's like, right, I'm gone. And I think that was... the problem with Everton and their business.
Well, this is it. You know, you get players who come in because of the manager. You know, you see that. There's no way, no disrespect for Everton. Sorry, they're like us. You know, you don't really attract the big name players, the good players, unless they're towards the end of their careers or unless you're doing something special. Ancelotti was that type of manager that does draw players to a club.
Yeah,
you know, and that's the thing. And all right, that's for me. You don't sign to play for the manager. Yeah, look, that's soft. If you like the manager and you come into the club and the manager's there, but you sign to play for a football club.
It's an attraction. You think like, you know, it's like anyone. Someone you like works there. It's like if your mate got you a job and he's like, listen, come work for me at this gap, and it'll be great. And then he leaves, and then you're like, oh. He's gone. It's not the same.
You don't then throw your toys out your pram and go, I ain't working no more.
He's being unprofessional. Nick Crosshammers says, I'd have a punt with Benrahma and Jesse. Yeah, and I can see that, but I still think we need that depth. And I don't want to see Lingard come in and then Benrahma just pushed to the side. And
the thing is, I get what Nick's saying there, right? But with Benrahma can play in that 10. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing. Jesse coming in, for me, doesn't push Benrahma outside. It just gives us so much more options across that supporting role. You know, if we were to lose Antonio and we've got Lingard, you saw last season we had Lingard, Benrahma, I think it was Bowen, or it may have been Fornals, you know, where they played that front three with a false nine and they interchanged and swapped positions. And I feel with Jesse coming in, Jesse shouldn't take Benrahma's. Benrahma now, for me, needs to be the focal point of everything we do. He is our Payet. How Payet was that season, we had him. Benrahma's now our Payet. Benrahma is the player we've got to look to play. We've got to give the ball. He's the one that's got to make things happen. But there'll be games where he can't make things happen. There'll be games when teams put 2 players on him to stop him. That's when you need players like Lingard who have got that. You saw when Lingard come into the size, you saw he was that little bit more than what the players we got. Do you know what I mean? He's got that little bit more quality about him, a little bit more intelligence about him. And then adding him to that mix when you've got the worker in Fornals, the Bowen that's just that raw attitude of get down that line, you know, try and get a goal. You know, you've got different types of players playing in that position behind your number 9 who you know is going to give you everything that he's got. And that's why we need someone like Lingard.
Now he says, I'll bet you £50 that West Ham will sign in Cottee on deadline day from Arsenal. Now, I can't see us signing Nketiah.
Does Lino say we don't?
That's the problem. That's why I can't say the bet. If you've got...
Lee's just made an easy 50 quid.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got inside knowledge or not. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've got inside, but if I'm just no to Nketiah, please. I'm not interested in getting Nketiah in if West Ham were to sign him. If it was like one of these loan things or something like that, but I don't think we. Do you guys think he'll be coming in?
Well, he didn't say buy. He just said sign. That could mean
sign.
Loan
it could be a loan, but this is the thing: is what people are saying. We're talking about only signing backups. The likelihood is this person isn't going to be a just someone who comes off the bench and is a backup for here or one game or two. This person could have to play for 2 months straight if Antonio does his hamstring again. And we don't want someone who in that 2 months manages like 1 or 2 goals. We need someone to, to come in and really stick the goals in.
But the thing is that you could, it's bringing in the players around him. Do you know what I mean? It's Antonio's isn't just there because he scores goals. It's what he brings to the game to bring other players into the game to hold the ball up. That's what you need. You had that with the same with Arnie. It weren't just about putting the ball in the back of the net. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing with a lot of forwards now. The forward there just to put the ball in the back of the net it's a dying art, if you know what I mean. The managers and coaches now want a lot more from a forward. They're wanting more involved in the build-up play. They're wanting more involved in different aspects of the game. You sort of started seeing that with Aguero at City. Aguero, listen, best striker in the Premier League in his day for me. He was superb. But Pep wanted a little bit more, and he was getting a bit older. So Pep started trying different things out. And this is the thing, is that you've got to look to what they can bring other than just putting the ball in the back of the net. Listen, for me, a striker should be, that's all the striker's about. But the game's changed, the game's progressing, the tactics have changed, and there needs to be a lot more added into a striker's game than just scoring the goals.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if what's his name, Nketiah is the man to do that. Is that man? So we'll see. I can't see a side. Surely not. I don't know what wages he's on. This is the thing. Like, look what Arsenal had Carl Jenkinson on. They had him on like 75 grand a week and couldn't shift him.
But this is the thing. This is why you'll see loan deals done, or you'll see it be, well, you can sit on it again. Reverts back to what the player wants. Does the player want to sit on a bench and earn money? Does the player want to play football?
Yeah, that's the question. But do we? Yeah, and you don't really see people take wage cuts. That's the thing. And if it's a loan, maybe. But I think if we was to get in Cottee, I'd still want another striker. But
that's the thing. And the thing is, mate, you say players don't take wage cuts in this day and age. Players don't have a choice. You see that with Messi.
Well, that's it. I mean, but sometimes they counteract it by getting the signing on bonus.
Well, exactly. And that's it. They get it's all made up loyalty bonuses and stuff like that. And that's what it does.
So let's answer Jamie Pack's question. I think he's been trying to get that in, so we'll answer that for him. Do you think West Ham could sell 80,000 seats if they wanted to? The reason I ask, if the stadium was bought and we filled in the gaps and moved us closer to the pitch, I think we'd have 80k. Please answer. Right, let's give you your answer. I mean, I've looked at this. I was looking at this the other day when I was looking at the sort of layout. I'm thinking that I think it's like behind the goal. If you filled in those gaps behind the goal where they've got the screens and then brought the stands closer, you could get at least 70-odd thousand. And I think
the problem is you couldn't do that without knocking down part of the stadium.
Really? What do you mean? Really? You think so? I don't think so.
Yeah, the site, the way the stadium's set out, that big gap where they have the bar and all that sort of thing during other concerts and things like that, you'd have to knock that down.
Yeah, but the idea is that
we need a lot of work to get him to that point.
Do you think I'm talking about, where behind the goals are, Scott? Right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But it's the stadium, the dynamics of the stadium don't work like that. Because it wasn't built for football. This is the big thing.
You don't. Scott, I think we haven't had a heated debate in a while. I think we're gonna have a fight with Scott about this.
From my limited knowledge of architecture and stuff like that, mate, is.
But all right, could we fill it? Let's ask Jamie if we did do it. Right, the question is, could we fill 80,000 seats if we did do that? Talking about pushing it to 66,000. I think we could, and it obviously all depends on what's going on the pitch and what's going on at the club with the board but the way things are, I think we certainly could.
The problem, right? So we fill the stadium week in, week out now.
Yeah, right. Which is about 60,000 seats.
Yeah, we have a big issue that we've seen. Not so much recently, but obviously we've not been there. But like leading up to before the lockdown and all that, we had a big issue with non-West Ham fans going to games.
Yes,
right?
But that was the problem with how we done the season tickets at the start.
Yeah, but even on the match day, like buying general sale tickets, it's you're still getting people through the door who didn't support the club. Could we fill 80,000 seats? Yes. Would it be 80,000 true West Ham fans? Probably not.
Could you say that for clubs like Man United and that who have 75 and all that? You could say that for most clubs, but that's it.
But that's it. You'll get bums on seats depending on who we're playing.
Yeah, but this is why I think
if we're playing like Burnley on a Wednesday,
you're not going to.
I don't think you're going to get 80,000 people in there.
No, and that's no disrespect
to Burnley, but the 80,000 seats of the so-called glamour games like your Man Cities, your Liverpools, they're the games that are going to.
The pricing comes into it, I think, Gray, is when you have if you've got an 80,000 seat stadium, right, and you're playing West Brom on a Wednesday, instead of charging, say, 50 odd quid for a ticket, say charge 20 or something like that. Like someone else said, kids for a quid. You get kids for a quid on a regular basis, and you've got more seats, but to fill it, you make them seats more affordable and stuff like that. And you get people. I think you'd easily.
But that's the thing. You look at that, and normally the kids are the quids, the cup games, and they're late at night, and you don't get a lot of parents taking the kids to an evening kickoff.
But imagine they start doing it on say we play flipping Brighton on Saturday at 5:00, and you can make that like, because all it is say you put a game on. If you don't fill it, you think, shit, all right, well, maybe our pricing isn't right. So then you drop the price in a bit and make it a bit more affordable. Then people have go, oh, you're making it more accessible to more people, to families, to people that maybe can't outlay that cost.
Yeah.
You're making more West Ham fans afford to go.
Yeah, if you were to put the stadium, if we had an 80,000 seat stadium, you could afford to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Because look, if the question is, do we have the fan base? We have the fan base. We absolutely have the fan base.
Without fail, listen, as I said, I've been a lot of countries around the world. Always, people know West Ham are.
Yeah.
Right, and as I said, we could fill the stadium, but as I said, I don't think it would be all with true diehard fans.
Yeah, that's and I think that's
listen, I'm not one of these that just classes a fan. If you go to the game, you're a diehard fan. Diehard fans there's fans of this club who are diehard fans all over the world who can't get to games.
Yeah, I think you mean the people that aren't really West Ham, but they go because it's on and it's Premier League, and they'll go.
Or they go because it's cheaper than going to Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. You get that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen people walking around there in Chelsea shirts, and you know.
Listen, I know Spurs and Chelsea fans who have friends who support Spurs and Chelsea who said, "Well, I'm going to go West Ham because it's cheaper than going Spurs or Chelsea."
Yeah, that's it. So,
which I would never go and watch another team, like, you know, go and buy a season ticket.
Listen, look, I can go and watch another team play all day long.
I wouldn't buy a season ticket.
I wouldn't buy a season ticket to another club.
Yeah, I went to watch. My mate Tony supports Palace. You've met Tony. I think Dan's met Tony at Palace. He invited me to Palace. I went and watched Palace and Chelsea. You know, sitting in the Palace. Sitting in amongst Palace fans. I went to watch a game of football. It was funny because when Palace scored, the amount of Chelsea fans sitting in the Palace end who just sat there with glum faces the whole game was brilliant. But, you know, I like football. I'll go to watch any side. But
it happens.
Your passion is, my passion is West Ham. I don't get, you know, West Ham and England are really the only, and Thames, you know, they're the three teams that I get passionate about. You know, they're the teams I care about. I go and watch another game of football. You know, granted, I wouldn't buy a season ticket anywhere else. I'd barely pay full price for the ticket.
I mean, I've been like when my mate was down from Bradford and they were playing Orient. I was in the away end at Orient. I'll go and, you know, in the Bradford end, I'll go and watch a game, but I wouldn't buy a season ticket to Spurs or a Chelsea or anyone, you know, because
we've got a question from a young fan here. Ryan Archer, his name is. No super chat, but I thought I'd be generous and answer his question. I thought he could put a super chat in, but he hasn't. I've got a question for Graham. Did you enjoy Friday Night Pint live this week? It was just good. We was going to talk a bit more about this.
I'll tell you what, I absolutely loved it last week. I got to do that with my best mates.
There it is. You can still talk, Graham.
The legend Jimmy Walker, the legend Russ. You know, and everyone in the crowd afterwards, everybody was fantastic. Like, just meeting everyone was brilliant. I loved it.
Yeah, it was so mad. Look, you can see us there on stage and everyone's singing Bubbles at the end, and such a surreal experience from what you see us doing now in our little comfort zone, and we're there and everyone's looking at you and you're on this stage and you got your voice coming out of speakers. Well, some of us did. Some of us might. Some whose microphones were working.
I must admit, it was working edgeways half the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? As nothing unusual there, though. Is it? Nothing's changed.
No, but I mean, it was just a brilliant night. I was just amazed, like the amount of people that come to watch us now. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
you know, and afterwards, like, we was having a good chat and a laugh with everyone. The drink was brilliant. We're starting up a new boy band called Wrong Direction.
A video is being uploaded. I'm just trying to see how much usable footage of it, but it is going to be uploaded very
tough to do because obviously you've had to deal with the audio that was recorded through one thing, and then we had multiple cameras. So it's
yeah. I mean, I know a lot of you guys might be interested in the technical stuff, but it was very tricky, obviously, trying to link up with the DJ system. And then we had 6 microphones, which we're all trying to record, but it was definitely a learning experience for next time. And I know exactly what we'll do for the next one. And it was good. Yeah, I had a FaceTime with Miss Amorette. I don't know if any of you other big shots over there, did, but
I weren't that lucky.
Yeah, Stevie came and so Stevie WHU, he came over and he had it on the FaceTime, so it was great to meet Miss Amorette, who couldn't be there.
I think the problem was Nicky, because we was all holding hands like that, like close. And Nicky would start talking, and then he'd drop the mic down, and I think that's what the problem was.
Yeah, and then he'd take Scott's mic. He took Scott's mic off him, and
that was the thing. He took my mic off me, and then his mic was working, and he's like, "Well, there's nothing wrong with it, Nick."
That was Graham blurry.
I was feeling a bit blurry at the end of the night.
There you go. You can see him there in a bit higher resolution there.
Yeah, look, hang on, I've got to put that under there. Look at that. Old boys on the block.
Old boys on the block.
That is a lot of people there. Get your boy band name in.
Yeah.
And we've also got an appearance over here, if I can find it. I'm doing my. There it is, from the other legend. She turned up, this woman. If you've been watching Friday Night Pint, you'll know this woman. Positive Pat made an appearance at the end. Positive Pat showed up, and absolutely brilliant. We're all smiling. Scott, why do you look so stern on your face?
I don't know, mate.
You've got a very serious.
I'm always, I'm always smiling. There must be one point where I'm thinking about something.
Scott looks like a teacher trying to keep control of a rowdy field trip.
He does, doesn't he? Look, great. Like you're in hysterics over something, Graham. Looking over at me and Jimmy Walker.
Pat turned up, wasn't it? Positive
Pat. Yeah, that was it. Positive Pat live in person. So the back pain boys.
Thank you, Andrew. $50. Thank you very much. I like that one. I like that one. I think we're going with that.
Well, thank you very much for the super chat and the great name, the Back Pain Boys. The good question. I
do like the old boys on the block one as well.
Yeah, that is a good one as well. Did anyone get too smashed? Well,
I don't want to say anything, but someone went to the chip shop. And somehow I don't know if his belt had come off or whatever, but his trousers fell down.
Yeah.
Danny, can I show the picture of you in the cab on the way home?
Go on then.
Oh, me or Dan? Oh, Dan, yeah, we broke Dan. We broke him.
Wait, let me put Scott on.
Absolutely in bits. Can I just say to everyone, though, Dan and Scott were actually going to, we were sorting cabs out for people, and then Dan and Scott were going to leave me. They were going to leave me there on my own.
What? I don't remember that.
Bang out of order. Bang out of order.
What was we? What happened? You have to tell us. I don't remember this.
We sorted cabs out for everyone. Then we was trying to get one for ourselves, and then you and Scott come into our cabs in. Now see you later. And you was going to go and leave me. You was going past my house anyway.
Listen, I blame Scott for that. But no, you know what, right? So me and Scott, like for those who know Damo, I've got another channel, Damo and Jay. So one of my best mates there, Damo, he got his brother to drop us, another one of my friends. So he dropped me, Scott, and Damo off. He turns up, Damo rocks up, right, with these bottles of dark rum, Captain Morgan, right? And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to share this bottle. We pulls out another bottle and another bottle. It's like, no, we got one each. And we're like, we got to fucking go on stage. We can't get on stage smash. We've done about half the bottle each, didn't we, Scott?
Yeah.
To start the night off.
That was at the start.
Funny though.
That was on the way there.
You know what made me laugh though? When I come back, I've been out to change my shirt and I come back and like Scott went, where are you? And I was talking to the owner outside. And I come back in and we got to the bar and Scott just grabbed me and he went, I'm fucked because of you.
Yeah, brilliant. Tamlin McCann, 17.99 super chat. Evening, lads. Great show. What a great night last week was. Just thought we would donate to Scott and Graham sorting the cab last week, getting us so much appreciated. Can't wait for the next live show. Wayne and Abby, that was great guys. Tamerlane came up. She was
Wayne and Sammy, good fun.
She was like, I've got to buy you guys a drink. I was like, I don't have to. She was like, I said it on Facebook, and I'm gonna be a woman of my word. And she bought us all a drink. And
thank you very much for that.
Great couple. And like I said, you didn't have to do that because you bought us a drink. And thank you very much for that, guys. Both of you legends. Dan dropped chili sauce over my new trainers. They were white. I had someone spilt a sambuca down me top. They dropped a sambuca over me.
Is that why you're topless?
No, right? There's a picture. We're all
I went to toilet, come back, and everyone had their shirts off at the bar. What the hell was going on?
Damo took his shirt off first, got his big hairy belly out.
So you batted to peer pressure, did you?
I don't know, but we all ended up getting off. And then Scott, I don't know, he was too scared, so he just got in the picture on the end.
Honestly, mate, I walked into the bargain basement version of the full Monty. It was disturbing.
Yeah. It's
that was probably Mickey going back to the picture of me looking across. To be fair, I'm sure I bought the first round that night.
Boy, it was relentless. Like we was doing these black sambucas. Like you'd be standing there talking to someone, and then a fucking shot comes, and everyone's like, "Bang! Here's a shot!" And it was just like non-stop. So we went from all right. Me and Scott started drinking the strong stuff. Then we had a beer. And then we was on stage for about an hour and a half sipping a beer. And then we go straight into like, right, we have a beer and then bang, bang, bang. All these drinks come, all these sambucas and all sorts of shots, weren't they? And stuff. And I think Andy was getting bang on the sambucas as well.
And Andy started off the shots with me. I remember that. I was standing there talking to Andy. Then Andy went to the bar and I was talking to Jimmy Walker. And then all of a sudden Andy just rocked up with his tray of sambucas.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, mate.
He did. There was
Damo just kept passing me like he's going, there's another one, I just kept getting shots past. I was like, oh
yeah, it was, wasn't it? Like that, it was such a it was a real messy night, but it was a good night, and we got really
everyone I spoke to, everyone I bumped into at Newcastle that was there as well. They all said it was a great night, and as I said, at the end of the day, we put it on. We did this show. We got through lockdown doing the show. It got us through lockdown. It got people have said to us in the chat before, it's got them through lockdown. It was an honour for us to put on Friday Night Pint Live for all of yous that have been through this show and followed us through this and followed us over time. It was so good. As I said before at the start, just so good to see
some
people,
great people, weren't they?
Yeah, faces to names, and it was
hearing people's stories and all sorts. But
having a dance, having a boogie, having a drink.
I don't think I got to have a dance. I think I was at the bar, I was at the bar all night, and I didn't even get to because it was just the drinks were coming. I was just non-stop drinking and having some great chats and some great conversations. I don't think I got to get on the dance floor. I think there's a picture of us on stage at the end with everyone else, but that's it. Stevie says, Dan, do you remember slacking off Damo outside the ballroom in the street? I don't remember that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I always slag off Damo, so I believe you.
Graham, remember I saying, if it's wet, drink it. Nick, I want to see you and Charlotte at the next show, mate. I want you there.
Yeah, so we'll definitely look at. I think that was a good venue. Who knows? We might look at a different place and things like that. And we definitely.
I liked it. It was a really nice venue.
It was. I was fancier than I was expecting. So well done to Ryan for sorting that out. Ryan went to Cotty. It was a really good night. Did I start singing Return of the Mac? I don't remember.
I think you might have done it because the DJ played it. I do remember you.
That
was that one out, mate. I do remember. I do remember giving it some welly.
It
does annoy me that there's bits of the night I can't remember.
Mate, honestly, when you put that photo up, the one where the four of you are shirtless, and there's my head just leaning in. It's like I don't remember that, and then it just, do you know what I mean? It pops in. You go, yeah, I remember that one.
vaguely remember it. Yeah, there's things that pop in. I wish I remembered everything, but then pictures come in and they fill in the gaps, and then other bits. There's this video there of Nikki. We got a video of Nikki going to Damo like, "Oi, I want to talk to Damo. Yeah, Damo. Like, I want to borrow your beard for a week. And I want your beard. Let me borrow it for a week." And Damo's like, okay, you can have it. It's it's one of them really good nights. So
it was a great night, absolutely fantastic night.
Yeah, so I really hope that those of you who didn't get to come can come, next time, and then those of you who did come back again, and we'll do some other bits. And it'd be nice if it stayed open a bit later, like if it was at least 1 o'clock. It was that bit when
because I think it's because of the houses around the venue. They've got to be.
Yeah, if we could get a venue that at least open. Although to be fair, if it had been open an hour later, God knows what state we would have been in by then.
Jesus,
God, come on. To think. I didn't get into 3:30. Imagine that if we stayed out.
No, do you know what? We must have been, because we got kicked out. I think probably just after 12. We must have been out in the street.
We were outside for an hour.
Fucking hell! Like just eating chips and talking shit and.
Mate, you were eating chips. We were just all talking crap.
Yeah,
and then getting
Ubers. Me and Graham do that all the time. Whether it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, that's the norm, isn't it, mate?
We just talk.
Jimmy had a good time. He was great. Yeah, he was brilliant. He was just one of the lads. Like he slipped in well, and there was none of that reserve player.
No,
he was just there to have a good time.
Jimmy's a top guy.
Yeah, he's we met him a few times before, and he's always he's brilliant. He's got some.
All the times he said that he's coming out for a drink with us, and he couldn't have a proper drink because he had to get home because he was working the next day.
He did say next time he's down in London, though.
It was a shame. So, hopefully the next one. You guys were all chatting outside until 2 a.m. Yeah, probably must have been talking the most crap at that time and all of that. Oh, I love you. And like me and Nicky going, we're going, it's channels, we're going to go to the top, we're going to do it, we're going to do that. It's typical drunk talk. But yeah, I think we needed that. And that was the first time the 5 of us got together and had a drink and all of that in a long time.
That's what you said. You think about it, that was only the 3rd time I'd seen you, Dan, since lockdown started. And that was the mad thing about it. When you sit there and look at, I was at the wedding the other week with Graham and Ryan. The last time I think I was with. The last time the 5 of us together was the last game of the season when we were filming in my back garden, and it was such a special night for so many reasons.
Yeah,
and it's a night we won't forget ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
I just
remember, waiting backstage and you're like, shit, it's coming soon. And you feel that them nerves inside you. You're like, shit.
It's like when he's doing the seating arrangement, wasn't it? And he's going, oh, great, you've got to go out first. I felt like Terry Butcher in the tunnel at Wembley.
Yeah.
You were getting all Terry Butcher in the tunnel at Wembley at that point.
Hey?
That was it.
Jumping up and down, everything. Was, mate.
I know. It was nervous energy. I was excited. Did Nicky tell the Poland story? No, we only had an hour, so
we didn't let him. We definitely made sure that didn't happen. He did try and tell the story, and we definitely put a stop to that. We didn't have the time, and I think everyone was getting a bit thirsty. So
it would have took up too much valuable drinking time.
Yeah, exactly. So God knows. I think if I think we'll do you know what we'll do? We'll release it on DVD.
I remember this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Just before we walked out and Ryan went, wow, I turned around and went, what? And he went, bang, straight in my nuts. I got a stomach. I went out of stomach ache and everything. It's killing me.
Great time. Absolutely great timing that was. So yeah, no, really, really good time. And like I said, so the video will hopefully be up soon. I've got like the first half an hour or so usable, so it might be like a highlights thing or something like that. And, we'll see how that goes. So yeah, so it was a thing. I must have been in the toilet I must have been in the toilet at the time, or I was speaking to someone about music and that around the corner. If I remember who I was speaking to, and so what apparently had happened was there was alcohol all over the flipping floor, like the floor's wet. Nicky decides he's going to do a Ferris. Was it? No, it's what's the film with Tom Cruise when he slides across in his pants and socks?
Risky Business.
Yeah. So he's going to slide across it and slide, like be all cool and that. And he slides and completely stacks it and falls flat on his ass, and he's on the floor. And he starts swimming in the fucking alcohol and lays there, and everyone's pouring shots in his mouth while he lays there. Like
that. Wasn't it?
Oh man, that is fucking ridiculous, absolutely mental. And his clothes must have been sticky as anything. Just when that one person spilt that shot over me, I woke up still in that t-shirt, sticky, all sambuca on me. I can look at my floor, just chili sauce down it. Like Nicky must have been in a right, I would say.
I tell you something, Tequila Rosie's nice.
Tequila, that was the other thing, wasn't it? Tequila Rose.
I don't like tequila normally, but that was nice. That was nice. Tequila
Rose. Did Positive Pat get off with anyone? You have to ask Ryan in the chat. I don't know where Pat, if she made an appearance in the end after the stage, and we'll have to get her involved on the drinking session. Get a little hole in where the mouth is, and do some shots down there.
This is all going down a very
yeah, it was one of them. I'm glad though, because it's good though, isn't it? Like, because you think the amount of stupid stuff we've all probably done when we've been drunk, and the fact that we did it, and like it was just great. It was just a good drink. It was a good drink session.
Brilliant evening, absolutely brilliant. Like Scott says, never forget it. Never forget it.
Yeah, so look out for it. We ain't got this. We'll try and sort out some dates, and we'll keep you guys all informed. Yes. I don't know why I did it in that voice, but that was me stalling for time because I'm trying to read comments and think of what to say to see if anyone's got any other questions or anything before we.
Well, we've got to do a little bit of Ask Us Anything, Dan. You ain't had that.
Yeah,
not too long though, because my battery's going right down here. and then it would just be you and Dan. Just sitting there talking.
Finish as it started.
That's it.
Yeah.
You need a Wednesday warm up Nicky story show. Bloody hell.
We'll do a West Ham fan TV. Jack and Ori.
Bedtime.
Yeah, it was with it. I'll never forget that with that Poland story. And I got disconnected and I came back in and he was still telling it, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, but Ryan said everyone went home at being drunk. Good night. Spot on.
Yeah. With boys, you can't buy them memories. I'm glad you had a brilliant time. Hopefully you can join us next time. Okay. Do you want Lingard?
100%.
Yes. Have I missed update on Soufal contracts? If you have, so have I, because I haven't heard anything about Soufal's contract. There was a lot of talks about it. If anyone's got any updates, pop it in the chat, because I have not heard anything about his. Would Ben Rama be better as a number 10 than Lingard? I'd say yes. I would rather have Ben Rama there and Lingard on the left.
Yeah.
I think that would be ideal. I think Ben Rama's a little bit more creative, and I think that Lingard is better at that just direct approach, attacking, linking up with players and things like that. And Ben Rama will put some, balls on a plate for you. Would you have loved it if we went for Bamford at Leeds before he signed a new contract? From Iris Sarifika. I would take Bamford all day long, whether it leaves Leeds. Bamford. And Leeds would sell him to us because he's so key. I thought he should have been in that England side. Yeah.
I like Bamford. I liked him last season.
Yeah, if we could have went for him, we could have. I don't know how much they'd have charged us and what he had left on his deal. There we go. Ryan says, "Who would you like next as our next guest for Friday Night Pint Live?" It's going to be hard to top Jimmy Walker in terms of just sheer enjoyment of his company and just good good banter and things like that. And that's a tough one.
So what Brian's really asking, who would we like as our next guest alongside Jimmy Walker on Friday Night?
Yeah.
Jimmy's an honorary member of the band.
Yeah, I'd love someone like Ginger Pele. Ginger Pele would be a laugh.
Yeah.
Ginger Pele.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be a good laugh.
Yeah.
Anyone who's going to get as pissed as us.
Wait, Andy Carroll.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
Andy Carroll. Carlton Cole would be a laugh. Yeah, Carlton Cole. Sebastian, I would love it. I would love Nicky to come out and talk and then see LA just chin him. Can you imagine? LA just gets up and chins Nicky and goes, "That's what you get." That's a good shout.
You know why.
Yeah. Marco Boogers. Razor Ruddock. Oh, it'd be a laugh. Me and Ryan did the interview with him good few years back, and he's such a laugh. He's
Ryan says we ain't got the drinking budget for Andy Carroll.
Yeah, you imagine. There's some names there. McAvenny, Star Graham would love that. I think he'd cry.
We definitely ain't got the drinking budget for that one.
Fucking someone said Victor Moses. I think Nicky would chin him if we got Victor Moses, wouldn't he? Nicky would chin him. Could you imagine if we got him? Harry Redknapp, someone says. Andy Carroll would be injured. Joe Cole, I think he'd be a good guest. He's a bit more media than like a Jimmy Walker, Triple H. Do you know? I tell you, it'd be a good John Moncur.
He'd be a good one.
He'd be a good. I know he's sort of found. Someone said it there. I know he's found religion a bit now, but I think he's still got a good sense of humor. And
you know what? Do you know who's a good laugh? I think Tony Gale.
Tony Gale, he's got a good sense of humor. He's got a good bit of banter about him. Good laugh.
Frank Senior's a good shout.
Rob Green, Pulkits. Rio. Oh, could you imagine?
Ludo.
Quiet. There's so many names, isn't it? Like, but I just thought Ludo, Mark Ward.
Mark Ward.
You know what? I'll bring Alan Pardew in. He knows that.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Can you imagine some of them stories?
Oh my God, I wanted to ask. It was running out of time. I wanted to ask Jimmy Walker for some Alan Pardew stories, but I didn't want to put him on the spot and then like.
Dan. Before we wrap it up, I've got another one who we could bring in, who I think would be a right one. Bobby Zamora.
I would love Zamora. I love Bobby. But I think Alan Pardew would be the ultimate. I want to get his side of the story to him nicking that or trying to nick that photographer's dinner. I want to get his side of the story of I'm the king. You know, when you're the king, you take what you want. I would love to hear his side of the story. He'd have so many good stories, and he's just a crazy character, isn't he? That would be brilliant.
I just want to answer this one. Yes, I was lucky enough to get pre-sale on Wednesday. So I got my tickets on Wednesday. So it's all sorted.
I just got money for my ticket.
A few people owe me money for their tickets, mate. Don't worry about
it. I'll send you when I get paid next week. I'll send it to you.
But for me, like this gig, right? As people who've followed us for a long time know that what music I'm into, right? That gig is a special gig for me for like losing my brother when I did, because it's on the same day of the year that I lost my brother, and it's the last gig I ever went to with my brother. So this Foo Fighters gig, it's massive for me. I'm so stoked that I got tickets for it, man. So stoked.
Yeah,
no, that's it. That'd be a good one. So I'm glad you guys got the tickets sorted. So it should be a good one next year at the stadium, at the bowl.
And Graham's never seen them before as well, you know.
Pride Capital could come in and cancel it. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, I'd never support him again.
Yeah, they did that. Unbelievable. Please answer: GSB or PAI? I mean, one, I know I hate GSB, and I know they're shit. And PAI, you feel like they could be shit, but I don't know for sure if they're shit. But if you ask me, I would lean towards PAI, of course, just because GSB were the ones that took us to this stadium. They've done so much, just so much shit to us. So I'd have to lean towards PAI. What about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm no fan of the current board, but I don't know. It's an unknown entity with PAI in it. You just don't know. They could end up being worse.
This is it. It's that old scenario. Is it better the devil you know than the devil you don't? That's the thing. Time will tell. Time will tell.
Oh, sorry, Scott. Go on.
Ken Hammers, Rangers Celtic Europa League draw, or Celtic in Europa League draw, and have you done your Europa Home League treble deal yet? So, answering the last part, I've not done mine yet. Dan, you done yours?
Not yet. I need to do that.
And who would you prefer, Rangers or Celtic? I'm going for the fact that we absolutely battered Celtic in pre-season.
Yeah, I'd say Celtic just based on pre-season friendly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I would love to get the opportunity to actually go there to the ground this time and go to the game, if that offers on the table. So I would love to go to their ground and experience that and see us win there. And like you said, we battered them. So yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. I think we can get some good options. Will West Ham finish above Arsenal? By the way, the camera quality is class. What brand and model? Gray, what brand and model are you using, mate?
I'm using the potato.
I was thinking, surely he must be talking about Graham. No, it's Sony A7S III is the camera, and it links up to my computer right now. So will West Ham finish above Arsenal? If we get,
you look like you're about to go and film like a softcore porn film or something with that light on in the background.
I tried to set it to claret. That was as close to claret I could get. So I thought, well, that's close sort of ish, isn't it?
I don't know. You look like you're running a brothel, Dan. I'll be honest.
I didn't know other colours.
Great. Don't criticise his background, mate. You look like you're in heaven again.
Yeah.
At least I don't look like I'm in a brothel.
Listen, great. Honestly, I'd rather look like I'm in a brothel than look like I'm filming with a fucking potato. But will we finish above Arsenal? If we get the squad depth in, I think we will.
Yeah, I'm worried about as finished the squad is at the moment. If we don't add to it, then no, I don't think we will. But if we do get a bit of depth in there, then yes.
Yeah. I'm the same. It's add a bit of depth to the side. I think we can. I think with Europa and the amount of international games we've got to deal with through the season, Arsenal are just concentrating on a league, trying to finish as high up as possible like they normally do. So yeah, it all depends on our squad depth.
Absolutely.
I'm the fake taxi man.
I tell you, if Scott found that out, he'd never be able to look at you the same way again. We'll see.
Graham uses a 3310. Like the old bellboy flip phone, I use it.
So Pep or Moyes? You got to go Moyes. You got to go Moyes, ain't you?
Moisey.
Exactly. How many goals will Benny and Bowen get this season?
I think Ben Rama's going to get. I think he'll get double figures this year. I reckon.
Really? Double. Yeah. Do you know what? I could see that. I could see maybe like 11 or something like that. I think he'll get more assists than goals to Ben Rama. Bowen, I think he'll get like 8 or 9. I can see him getting 8 or 9 goals.
I think it all depends on who comes in. I think Ben Rama will get double figures, and if Bowen plays, he'll get double figures as well. So I'm going 10 for the pair.
Well, again, if we're talking about all competitions, then I think they'll both get double figures in all competitions.
Yeah.
Because there's like we said, there's a lot of football to play, and there's going to be some teams that should be scoreable against. And you know, you don't want to count any teams. See, Spurs lost obviously in the European Conference League, or whatever it's called. Yeah, exactly. They lost against Paca, whatever they're called.
Ferreira.
Ferreira. They lost.
Old silly nuts Jamie O'Hara sitting there going, it don't matter anyway. You know, well, best chance they've got of winning a trophy, innit?
Well, yeah, exactly. Don't matter. Like, leave off. Like, you don't want to. Like, it's one of them competitions. If you're in it, it's embarrassing to not go far on it. And so, you know, if they won it, they'd still laud it up, wouldn't they?
But this is the thing again, it's the fact of someone, I was listening to TalkSport today, and someone went to him, would you take finishing 5th over winning the Europa Conference League? And they were like, yeah, a trophy's a trophy.
Would you take wait a minute, do you know how stupid that is? Because would you take qualifying for the Europa League without a trophy, or qualifying it by winning a trophy?
And this is it, Dan. This is the fans that they'd rather finish 5th without winning a trophy to qualify for the same competition with winning a trophy.
Right. The thing is, mate, I remember, I think it was in the 80s, Brian Clough, right? You think all the trophies he won with Forest, like he won European Cups, they told League Cup, and he said like I think they won the Zenith Data Cup. And he said at the end of the day, it's a game at Wembley and there's a trophy at the end of it.
Exactly.
So it doesn't matter what the competition is. If there's a trophy at stake, then
it's like the same with the Champions League, right? I would rather finish 6th, and win the Europa League and get into the Champions League that way than finish 4th and not get any trophies.
It's a trophy.
It's a trophy. I'd rather do that than finish 2nd.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, because a trophy is a trophy. I don't care how you put it. As Graham famously says on many occasions, you can't put 4th place in a trophy cabinet, and that's what it is. You want to win trophies.
4th place in a trophy cabinet. You certainly can't put 5th place in a trophy cabinet.
Exactly, and that's the thing, you know, and that is it. But you know, first team to lose a game, first English team to lose a game in all the top European competitions. So that's a good record for them.
Yeah. So from one group of comedians to another transition. So Matt Baz says, R.I.P. Sean, one of the funniest stand-up comedians. That was really sad news to hear about.
Yeah, Sean. I was gutted. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, he was so good. Obviously, a lot of people have known him for like all the panel shows he did, the 18 Cats and all of that stuff. He was always the best one on there. When he always had the best lines and would be the funniest. And yeah, he was brilliant. Such a real sad news out of the blue that was. I really enjoyed his stuff.
Yeah, he was brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry. We'll be at Southampton away. I'm not sure who's going yet, but we will be there.
Yeah. We'll sort that definitely. West Ham fans, he will be there in some capacity. Get OR on the Friday night pint. Instead of giving everyone a complimentary pint, give us a complimentary pair of boxing gloves. I tell you what, I think we'd be turning people away at the doors. Like, I think it would be in there if we offered
be standing room only for that one, I think, wouldn't
it? Yeah. It's people. I would honestly imagine getting him on. I would love to just stick it to that geezer. You know what I mean? Just get him on here and give him a piece of my mind. Graham has a picture of me holding the Romford Charity Cup in his trophy cabinet. So you can put a cup in a trophy cabinet. You can't put full picture of
Ryan won more Romford Charity Cup than I ever did. I was runner-up 4 times in that. 4 finals we got 2, Scott, was it? It was 4, wasn't it, I think?
Yeah.
Lost them all.
Yeah. Shout out to Peach there. Shout out Peach in the chat.
Yeah, Peach.
And he says, "Big up, boys." In his certain way, it's so true what Nicky said. It seems like it would take more time to write that way than it would just to write like no. It's because you've got to go like capital B, small I, capital G, small P. I think it's really impressive, and it gives him his own style. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
How he does it. You know, who knows?
Dan, I'm down to the red on my battery.
But,
down to the red.
I think we can round it up tonight. We've been going for 2 hours, haven't we? So
yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. So no, it was just obviously good talking about everything and getting to reminisce on the video. The video will be up soon. Like I said, we're gonna have a lot of other content out. We've got a lot of other videos and bits and pieces out. I think
preview coming tomorrow.
Yeah, so we've got preview tomorrow. We've got obviously all the stuff that's happening on the match day, like fan cams and stuff. If I can get one of these tests, I might be able to go unless it fucking shows positive. So, unfortunately, that means we'll all be at.
Have you got any indoors?
No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to go and get one.
I can give Graham one for you if you need one.
Yeah. So no, that'll be. So I'll get that done and then I can bloody go to the game. I'm gonna get that early.
I'll be honest. I saw there was a question asked on one of the Facebook pages about whether people got stopped at Newcastle, and a couple of people said they did, but I never see anyone getting stopped and asked, and I wasn't asked personally, and I know Nick Tucker wasn't asked personally. Obviously, I was with Nikki, Andy, and Michael there, and none of us got asked. So I think it is just random.
Yeah. So if we're all there, then unfortunately, it won't be a watch along. We're trying to look at ways involved where if we are all at games, that someone can still do a watch along. But it's obviously trying to get the person that has got the technology side of things down, like I have, and Nikki a little bit, and then can also be on camera and do. It's a balance, so it's really hard and difficult. So we're trying to sort that. It's not easy sitting on here for like 2 hours and talking, especially like the other day when I was by myself. So, and if someone's going to have to do it, but we'll try and sort that out. But hopefully there'll be a good amount of watch-alongs this season.
I can't believe I'm missing the game.
Scott, I told Nicky you weren't going to be there, and he thought you was.
No, because they've moved it to the Monday, so I can't go.
Yeah, so
gutted.
Yeah, so no, that's a shame. And but look out if you fancy watching it, the FIFA show me and Jace is up. If it's your cup of tea, if it's not your cup of tea, fine. But it's so weird. There's people that really like it, and there's people that really don't like it. It's such a weird Marmite show, but because I feel bad because of those people that there is people that really do like it. I feel to do it just for that small group of people because I feel bad. Because it's always nice when there's people that like your stuff.
Exactly, that's it. That we appreciate everyone who watches anything we do. If you don't like it, then that's fine.
We've got loads of other stuff that you might like. Six
X's. I can't. I'll be in a hotel room or a bar in up in Alton Towers. So I won't have the technology to be able to do it. So sorry.
Yep. Yeah, brilliant. Cheers for the plug, Miss Zamora. If you're on Twitch, please. We're going to start twitching soon. We're going to be twitching. So you can join us for some live stuff like this, but some other bits. So, no, brilliant stuff, guys. Always good to see you guys on a Friday night. And we had a laugh, and hopefully, Graham.
But I can wrap this up because my brother's being a dick.
Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see.
He won't be a dick, mate. He wants his room back.
Yeah.
No, I'm in the spare room. I'm not even in his room.
Oh. Thanks for everyone. Thanks again for everyone that was there last week. Yeah,
it meant a lot, and it was so nice. We was really worried about, I was really worried if you'd enjoy yourselves and how you'd find it, and everyone had a great time, which was a big relief.
It was. Can't wait to do it again. That's all I can say.
In 6X's comment, I looked at that and went, really? And then got it. I was like, no way is he on Twitch. And then I went, oh. You don't know. No. But look out for all of our other stuff. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Let's hope for 3 big points. Quick score prediction. I'm going to say, I've said 2-1 West Ham. Graham.
2-1.
Scott.
1-0.
1-0. I'll take any of them, mate. I'll take any of them. Big game. We can win that. We're in a good place. So fingers crossed. Looking forward to it. Back at the stadium. Hopefully, if I don't test positive. And hope you all enjoy it. And we'll look out for the fan cams. We'll see you afterwards. One thing left to say.